joining KSYD in Wichita Falls, Texas for the Snuff Garrett tribute to the late Buddy Holly, J.P. Richardson, the Big Bopper, and Richie Valens.
If you knew Peggy Sue, then you know why I feel blue without Peggy, my Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, galleys, I love you, Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue, oh, how my heart yearns for you, oh, Peggy, my Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, galleys, I love you, Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue, pretty, 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 pretty Peggy Sue. Oh, Peggy, my Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, gal, and I need you, Peggy Sue. I love you, Peggy Sue, with a love so rare and true. Oh, Peggy, my Peggy Sue. Well, I love you, gal, I want you, Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue, pretty, 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 pretty Peggy Sue. Oh, Peggy, my Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, gal, yes, I need you, Peggy Sue. I love you, Peggy Sue, with a love so rare and true. Oh, Peggy, my Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, gal, and I want you, Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, gal, and I want you, Peggy Sue.
This morning, we received a notice from Dateline Mason City, Iowa. 3 rock and roll singers just hitting the big time have died in a plane crash in an Iowa farm field. The 3 young singers, Richie Valens, Buddy Holly, and J.P. Richardson, better known as the Big Bopper, were being flown in a chartered plane by pilot Roger Peterson, who also was killed to a rock and roll concert in Fargo, North Dakota. 3 guys who, well, the Big Bopper, after working 9 years at a radio station in Beaumont, Texas as a disc jockey, gained fame with a thing called Chantilly, a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down. Richie Valens came on strong not too long ago, a young 17-year-old guy, came on strong via Los Angeles and come up with a smash hit called Donna, the flip side hit right now called La Bamba. But he'll never know the experiences of being a really, really big star across the nation because of his death. Buddy Holly, after his big taste of success with Peggy Sue and Never Forget the Crickets, That'll Be the Day, Maybe Baby, a lot of them. And just now he started a brand new one called Doesn't Matter Anymore, which is going to hit the charts probably in a couple of weeks. Already a very big record in the Wichita Falls area. Buddy, he couldn't have missed. Anybody could sing rock and roll any better, or one of the greatest guys in the world. And all of a sudden it's all ended in Mason City, Iowa. Richie Valens, one of the 3 guys, this is his big hit of the present day. Probably just like all recording companies, when they go in to record, they record usually 4 or 6 tunes at a time. And probably Richie Valens has got maybe they got 4 or 5 or 6 more songs in the can, as they say in the trade there. Maybe they got some more records in it. Maybe they don't. Maybe they were going to have a recording session tomorrow with him. Just like Buddy, we talked to his manager not long ago. You'll be hearing the interview with Norman Petty, Buddy Holly's manager, in a little while. He was doing New York next week for a recording day. They have, Norman will tell you all about it in a little while. Yeah. Oh, wow. But we talked to the Crickets a while ago in Lubbock, and contrary to what it said in the paper tonight, it said in the paper that the Crickets were in the bus that went ahead to their next engagement, and then the 3 fellows flew, and that's how they were killed. but they weren't there. They were in Lubbock at the time. The Crickets were not heard, or they weren't even on the tour. It was Buddy by himself. He went on a weekend thing, you know. And but they were all torn up about it in Lubbock. All the radio stations there. All the guys that Buddy had known for a long time, you know. I remember when he was laying brick. Started as a bricklayer, just like anybody else. He loved to sing. He used to sing, you know, in different places. You hear the stories. He started out poor, and he used to sing around town. Well, that's just the way it was. He used to sing around town. And, didn't pick up much loot. And he made more money as a brick contractor. And he bought his first big car, laying brick. And he kept that car up until last year. I say there's two things a rock and roll singer buys first. That's a brand new Cadillac and a diamond ring. And I don't think I know of one that hasn't. Not very few. But, you know, they let it all go to their head and everything. But Buddy didn't do that. He was just another singer and swinger and had a good time, made a lot of money, and carried on. But he remembered that was a nice thing, you know. He didn't just go big hat and leave the group. This is one of the songs that hit all across the nation, and it stayed up for a long time. It's like Buddy said, all of his records, they don't go right to the top like the Everly Brothers and all of them, but they make just as much money because they get about the number 50 or 60 position, and they just stay there month after month, about 3 or 4 months. You just keep piling in the old loot. That's what he said. Just keep piling the old money there month after month. And the Everly Brothers, and I'm just using an example, but they have a smash hit, goes all the way to the top, and then it drops down pretty fast. But here it just gets in one place and just stays there very mellowly, cashing in the Gitas, you know. And this is one of them that did it. Anybody that likes rock and roll or any, you know, or any type of today's music, this is one of the biggest records.
Maybe, baby, I'll have you. Maybe, baby, you'll be true. Maybe, baby, I'll have you for me. It's funny, honey, you don't care. You never listen to my prayer. Maybe, baby, you will love me someday. Well, you are the one that makes me glad, and you are the one that makes me sad. When someday you want me, well, I'll be there, wait and see. Maybe, baby, I'll have you. Maybe, baby, you'll be true. Maybe, baby, I'll have you for me. Well, you are the one that makes me glad, and you are the one that makes me sad. When someday you want me, well, I'll be there, wait and see. Maybe, baby, I'll have you. Maybe, baby, you'll be true. Maybe, baby, I'll have you for me. Maybe, baby, I'll have you for me.
All right, it's the Chirping Crickets right there, and maybe, baby, Buddy Holly. Buddy had a guy that helped him more than anybody. His name was Norman Petty. Probably all the, you know, older people, or 25, 30, something like that. They used to dance to the music of the Norman Petty Trio, which is a very big trio across the nation. Still, they play a lot of club dates and everything. That was Buddy Holly's manager. And give you an idea of what kind of money Buddy and guys with Richie Valens and J.P. Richards, how much money they made off things like this. Just Norman's 10% of being the manager of the Crickets, just his 10%, so it kept him living very mellowly for quite a while. And not that he didn't earn it by any means. He has his recording studio and lives in Clovis, New Mexico. We talked to him earlier this afternoon on the phone. Mr. Petty?
Yes, sir.
This is Snuff Garrett at KSYD in Wichita Falls.
How are you, Snuff?
Fine, thank you. And I don't know, I've never met you personally, but everyone knew you in the recording industry as the maker and founder of the Crickets, Buddy and the boys. And, of course, you've had a lot of other...
You had a lot to do with that, too, you know.
Thank you very much. Buddy was a great guy. And
he was probably one of the finest young talents in America.
That's true. And he started out, you know, not doing too much around Lubbock, just trying like 28,000 other boys did. And he was lucky enough to make it, of course, with your help. Have you gotten any other word on what's happened up there?
Well, Snuff, the only thing I received a call this morning from Indiana, from one of our radio station friends up there, and he said that the only thing he had heard was that the plane was a private plane, and the three other fellows and the pilot. So there were four, as far as we kind of can gather, the plane.
Richie Valens and the Big Bopper.
Right, and Buddy, and I believe the pilot.
Yeah, the pilot, too.
Uh-huh.
Buddy had been playing, he played a show up there last night, didn't he?
Yes.
I see. And
he was on his way to the next town.
Let's see, how long has Buddy been married now?
Well, let's see. You just caught me off guard. Not very long.
No, it's about 4 months, I think.
Probably 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months. And where's his wife, in New York?
She's in New York.
She's in New York. I'm certainly sorry about it. And I'm very sorry to bother you like this.
Well, things like this happen. There's nothing that we can do to control them.
That's true.
We often wonder why things like it do happen.
That's true.
But of course, there's always bound to be a reason somewhere.
Norm, does Buddy have many more records in the can?
And he has 2 more that we did in New York. You notice this last new one of Buddy?
Paul Anka? Paul Anka too?
Right. Well,
yeah.
We have 2 others that were done at the same time. And then I have, probably some here in the can, here in Clovis.
I see.
He was supposed to go in for another session this next week. However, the ones that we did there and the ones that I have here are the only ones that we can play.
I see. Well, I guess, will you put most of those out? I hope you will. Some of his last songs?
It depends. Of course, there's bound to be some legal actions around.
Yeah, that's true.
Which we are not going to comment on.
I see.
But I'm sure that the other 2 that we did in New York will be out.
Well, good. All right, Mr. Petty, thank you very much for talking to us. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you for calling.
Bye. Goodbye. That's Norman Petty, the manager of Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Buddy saw $1 million worth of Norman Petty because he owed him everything in the world for getting him started. Norman took care of all of his money and everything he made, decided what to do with his money. He would invest it. He wasn't going to let him be an overnight sensation. And then, a lot of the guys, they have 2 or 3 hit records and maybe even one. They make a fortune off of it. And pretty soon it's all gone again. But Norman wasn't going to let that happen to Buddy. Buddy had his money invested in different firms and things, like record shops. He was talking about. He called me one day and talked about record shops and what he wanted to do with some of his money. And he wasn't going to be here today, gone tomorrow. He liked the feeling of money, and he was going to make sure he kept it. And there's more of the guys that think ahead like that, that have a lot of the loot, I guess. But I think one of the greatest stories in the world is how the Crickets wrote That'll Be the Day. Buddy's best friend in high school, Jerry Allison, is the drummer for the Crickets, and you'll hear Jerry in a little while. Jerry and Buddy were real good friends in high school and all through high school, and they lived in Lubbock together, and their families are real good friends. And Jerry would like to write songs, and he had a girl in California, and he wrote a song one day for her. And of course, you've already heard it, Peggy Sue. Jerry wrote Peggy Sue, and then Buddy helped him out with it, and they changed it up, and it became a million seller, never to be forgotten. And not too long ago, I think you remember when we had Buddy Holly Day here at KSYD Radio, when Buddy and the guys came down after their last trip to New York, and they were on the Ed Sullivan Show. They came down and did their TV show this last summer. And we're here in town for a couple of days, and he was married 2 days before that to Peggy Sue. So, it's sort of a vicious circle there. And speaking of, I asked Norman about Buddy being married, and I only met his wife one time. She's real nice. And Buddy, being 22 years of age, he left by, they've been married 6 months. And his wife, she's living in New York. They were married last August 15th. And her name is Maria Elena Santiago. She's a receptionist. And Buddy told her to stop working and everything. He wanted her to stop working because he had enough money to support him. And she told him no, she wanted to keep on working. No, since, when he's on the road so much and everything, that she might as well keep working. And she was in the business, too. She worked in a Southern Music Company in New York, which published a lot of Buddy's hits. And after 6 months, it's all gone, the whole thing. And but what I was going to tell you a while ago, when the first big hit they had, Jerry and Buddy went to see a show called The Searchers with John Wayne. Remember the cowboy picture called The Searchers? Starring John Wayne. All the way through it, somebody would say, I'm going to kill you, John Wayne. And he'd say, that'll be the day. Everything was, that'll be the day, that'll be the day. So they left the show, and Jerry said, let's write a song called That'll Be the Day. And they did. And that's pretty clever.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, you give me all your loving and your loving, all your hugs and kisses and your money too. Well, you know you love me, baby. Still you tell me maybe that someday, well, I'll be blue. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, when Cupid shot his dart, he shot it at your heart. So if we ever part, then I'll leave you. You sit and hold me and you tell me boldly that someday, well, I'll be blue. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, that'll be the day. Ooh, ooh, that'll be the day. Ooh, ooh, that'll be the day. Ooh, ooh, that'll be the day.
That was the Cricket's first big hit right there, called That'll Be the Day, written because of a big picture, The Searchers. And Buddy and the guys, it was one of those slow-rising records, just like Buddy commented all the time about all these records. This one, they sat around love it. They sat around love it. And the first time I ever met Buddy, but this record had just come out. And I said, Buddy, what's the good side on this record? And he said, well, I'll tell you the side I like. That'll be the day, and it'll never do anything. The other side's the side that we're really pushing. It's going to really be a big side called Looking for Someone to Love. And 6 months later, That'll Be the Day was #1 across the nation, hit the million-seller mark. And Buddy was on the road. Boy, they took off like, started working like beavers with busted tooths, and they went all across the nation. Last year, Buddy was home 9 days out of the whole year. Out of 365 days, Crickets were home 9 days. That's how hard they worked last year. And, doing shows every night and working and playing shows every night, traveling. They went to Australia. They were a big hit in England. Went to England, Australia. This next summer, they were going to the continent. They were going over to Europe. And, how much fun they had on these tours. That's all they talked about, how much fun they had on the tours. And all the guys getting together, like the Everly Brothers, who was Buddy's closest friends and the Cricket's closest friends. It gets kind of tiresome, just a bunch of guys roaming around the country together, playing at night and working at night, playing shows and working just about 2 or 3 hours a night and then off and nothing to do. And so, you don't have time to meet too many people and get to be good friends with anybody. So they took up things like, I'm not going to say they played checkers, they played poker, because it was pass the time fast and something pretty educational. They got him a teacher and took up fencing. you know. They could all have gone that way, too. They all took up fencing, the Everly Brothers and the Crickets, and they brought them these, you know, these little white suits with a cage face on it, and they'd be in the hotel rooms, and they'd fence, you know, after they got off the shows in there. That's how much fun they had. And we tried to find the Everly Brothers today. They were unavailable, and we wanted to get them to comment on what they saw, buddy. But we're sorry we couldn't find them. We'll try to do it maybe tomorrow. Maybe we can find them tomorrow. And along with Buddy, like Richie Valens, and there was Buddy, and one more guy who was a disc jockey he's only 24 years old, I think, 24 years of age, and took him 23 years to get to the top. He finally made it in a big way. He's been a disc jockey for 9 years. He started out at the age of 15 at a radio station in Beaumont, Texas. His name was J.P. Richardson, and he put out a record, and it was a fad at that time. I'm sure no one will ever forget the Purple People Eater, and so he got the idea to write a song called The Purple People Eater Meets the Witch Doctor, and it didn't do too much.
While walking through the woods and not far from town, I got real shook, I heard the strangest sound. I saw the Purple People Eater, and to my surprise, the witch doctor sitting by his side. The witch doctor had a little guitar in his hand, and they were popping and a rocking with a two-piece band. Purple was a blowing like the people eater should. Witch doctor picked like Johnny Be Good. They went I got troubles, that's what he said. Girls keep laughing about the horn in my head. The witch doctor smiled and I heard him say, yeah, man, you're ugly, but you sure can play. There in the moonlight it seemed so strange as they blowed a chorus of Home on a Rain. They were coming on strong like rock and roll stars. Played the sweetest music of the side of Mars. They went cats from outer space were giving it all, and I could tell the way they rocked that they were having a ball. They were coming on strong, I was clapping my hands, stopped long enough to say, easy man. So at twilight time, when the sun goes down, back in the woods on the edge of town, people all together from miles around to hear Doc and old Purple play the crazy sounds. They go, oh yeah. This is the one that they thought was going to come out, you know, and be a smash hit just like the Purple People Eater, and it didn't do anything. And then Mercury Records picked up the master. They thought so much of the Purple People Eater meets the Witch Doctor, they bought the master from the Big Bopper, J.P. Richardson, and they put it out. Still nothing happened, you know, all across the nation. Jocks had listened to it, and they played it some, and it didn't sell too well. So then, the jockeys, you know, like they do, some I've known, they listened to the other side of the record, the B side of the record, they call it. And that's how Chantilly Lace came into being. The flip side of the Purple People Eater meets the Witch Doctor was Chantilly Lace. And this one, it took it, I think it took it 4 or 5 months, just like Buddy waited 6 months, so that'll be the day to hit the top. And it was a long way too, boy, nerves every day. And you'd see him, you know, and he didn't have too much money. He wanted to put out another record. And there wasn't too much loot, and finally the record broke, and everything was good, you know. But the flip side of this record went right to the top, went to the #1 position. Here's a big bopper. Hello, baby. Yeah, this is the Big Bopper speaking. Oh, you sweet thing. Do I what? Will I what?
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down, a wiggle in the walk and a giggle in the talk. Make the world go round. There ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl to make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel real loose like a long-necked goose, like a girl. Oh, baby, that's what I like. What's that, baby? But, oh, honey. But, oh, baby, you know what I like. Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down, a wiggle in the walk and a giggle in the talk. Lord, make the world go round, round, round. There ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl to make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel real loose like a long-necked goose, like a girl. Oh, baby, that's what I like. What's that, honey? Pick you up at 8, and don't be late. But, baby, I ain't got no money, honey. Right, honey, you know what I like. Chantilly lace and a pretty face, ponytail hanging down, a wiggle in the walk and a giggle in the talk. Lord, make the world go round. There ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl to make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel real loose like a long-necked goose, like a girl. Oh, baby, that's what I like.
That was a big bopper right there, and a Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down, which is a saying all across the red, white, and blue not too many months ago. And the big bopper brought it into being. This is a tribute to Buddy Holly, and we're not taking any sides or anything, but Buddy is one of the best friends I've ever had, and he's the greatest guy in the world. And he was killed this morning, or early this morning, or last night, in a plane crash in Mason City, Iowa. And along with him, the Big Bopper's dead, and also Richie Valens. If there's anything of Buddy's you want to hear, I think we have just about everything of his. If there's anything in particular of Buddy's you want to hear, because we're going to go on in, till they pull us off with these, because I sit and listen to them, and a lot of these albums are scratched up because I play them a million times at home. And I don't ever play Buddy Holly records because I play them because he's a friend of mine too, but I play them because they're good, and they're good rock and roll. So if you got something of Buddy's you want to hear, you call 723-0791 and I'll play it. That's all I can say. So this is to him, and do it now. This is a song that this showed what they call in rock and roll versatility. The one thing about Buddy, no one else could record his songs, and I've heard people say it since he said it, and people here in town, and because nobody could sing like Buddy. He sounded like he's crying, sounded like a little girl crying a lot of times, and all that, and among the guys is kind of a joke because they kid him about it, and he took it good naturedly. But this showed one side of Buddy that that no one else could copy.
Kiss me, yes, you're gonna say you'll love me, 'cause I'm gonna love you too. I don't care what you told me, you're gonna say you'll hold me, yes, you're gonna say you'll love me, 'cause I'm gonna love you too. After all, another fella took you, but I still can't overlook you. I'm gonna do my best to hook you. After all is said and done, you're gonna say you've missed me, you're gonna say you'll kiss me, yes, you're gonna say you'll love me, 'cause I'm gonna love you too. you'll love me, 'cause I'm gonna love you too. You're gonna tell me sweet things, you're gonna make my heart sing, as you're gonna hear those bells ring, 'cause I'm gonna love you too. After all, another fella took you, but I still can't overlook you. I'm gonna do my best to hook you. After all is said and done, you're gonna say you'll miss me, you're gonna say you'll kiss me, yes, you're gonna say you'll love me, 'cause I'm gonna love you too. I'm gonna love you too. I'm gonna love you too.
Buddy Holly right there, and I'm gonna love you too. Right, Miss? And we know it's gonna go big. And this is Buddy Holly, plus 97 violins just fiddling around, called It's Raining in My Heart.
The sun is out, the sky is blue, there's not a cloud to spoil the view, but it's raining, raining in my heart. The weatherman says clear today, he doesn't know you've gone away, and it's raining, raining in my heart. Oh, misery, misery, what's gonna become of me? I tell my blues they mustn't show, but soon these tears are bound to flow, 'cause it's raining, raining in my heart. But it's raining, raining in my heart. And it's raining, raining in my heart. Oh, misery, misery, what's gonna become of me? I tell my blues they mustn't show, but soon these tears are bound to flow, 'cause it's raining, raining in my heart, raining in my heart, raining in my heart.
There's Charles Hardin Holly right there. It's Raining in My Heart. Buddy Holly is he's 22 years old, and I'll never forget the last time I went off to see him. They called me from Lubbock, and they said, we're in town. Said, come on up. So I took the weekend and went up to see him. I flew up in an airplane, which is a pretty clever way to go, and I went to Lubbock, and we went out to eat. He and Jerry Alice and I went out to eat, and the night I was going to come back, and so he said, we were all sitting there, eating, and so but he said, how you going to get back? I said, I don't know. I'll take a bus or walk or something. He said, we'll drive you back. I said, we ain't got anything else. We'll just drive you back. So I want to take a trip anyway, so we'll get out of town. I said, okay. So Jerry said, wait a minute. He got up and went over and bought a package of no-dos. And so he went over and got these no-dos, and he said, here, y'all take these. He said, we've been up quite a while now, so we'll probably get sleepy. So I took a couple of these no-dos, and Buddy took a couple of no-dos, and Jerry put them back in his pocket, and Buddy said, aren't you going to take any of these no-dos? And he said, no, man, I'm going to sleep. Y'all drive. We thought it was pretty clever, you see. And all the way back from Lubbock, Jerry slept in the back seat, and Buddy and I talked and everything. And I think that's one of the greatest nights of my life, because he never sang, you know, he's always sitting around tapping on stuff and everything. He was always sitting around tapping on stuff, and I was asking him, you know, I'd say a song title, and he'd get on the dash of the car and start beating out the tune, and he'd start singing it. And my favorite record by Buddy Holly, I'll play for you in a few minutes, called Last Night. And I think that's the best thing Buddy Holly ever made, was Last Night. And it come off the album, and you never get too many requests for it or anything. But I think that's the best thing he ever made. And I bet he sang that thing 2,800 times from here to Lubbock, or from Lubbock to here. And he sang it and sang it. I'd say, sing it again. And we sit in the car and sing. And Jerry slept all the way through it. Tim, very nice people have been calling in and telling us what Buddy Holly records they want to hear. This is what we call the Whaler right here. No offense to Abe. This is where Buddy Holly really wails, the opening note.
Oh, well, the little things you say and do make me want to be with you. Rave on, it's a crazy feeling, and I know it's got me reeling when you say I love you. Rave on. The way you dance and hold me tight, the way you kiss and say goodnight. Rave on, it's a crazy feeling, and I know it's got me reeling when you say I love you. Rave on. Oh, well, rave on, it's a crazy feeling, and I know it's got me reeling. I'm so glad that you're revealing your love for me. Rave on and tell me not to be lonely. Tell me you love me only. Rave on. Oh, well, rave on, it's a crazy feeling, and I know it's got me reeling. I'm so glad that you're revealing your love for me. Rave on and tell me not to be lonely. Tell me you love me only. Rave on to me.
That's Chirping Crickets right there, and Big Bud Holly and Rave On. I don't know whether you recognize the band in the background or not, but that's a Wichita Falls group called the Big Beats. And the Big Beats played on that. That was C.W. Kendall beating the guitar, the piano in the background. Buddy played a mean guitar. A lot of times on the road, you see them, and all the guys would get together and they'd play guitars together, and sit around. That's where they wrote all their songs on the road. The Everly Brothers, the last time we heard, one of their next records will be one of Buddy Holly's songs. Buddy wrote, too. He wrote a thing called Words of Love, which the Diamonds made a big hit out of. I think it was about 2 years ago. And Buddy wrote a lot of songs, and, it's sort of a trade-out like Paul Anka. He's recorded Paul Anka's tune this time. And they thought very much of each other because, on the road they depended on each other and everything. This is Jerry Allison, who was Buddy's drummer and his very, very closest friend. We talked to Jerry, I guess it's been about an hour and a half ago.
Jerry? Hello, Snuff.
How you doing?
Fine.
Well, listen, we heard about Buddy a while ago. I'm very sorry to hear it.
I was awfully shocked, Snuff.
And, listen, Jerry, he came through here and stopped overnight when he's on his way out.
Well, Joe being outside lived down here in the south, and Buddy wouldn't live up there. And so we went with him. We were here in Lubbock at the time it happened.
Y'all gonna still play as Crickets from now on, though, huh?
I don't know what we'll do, Snuff.
You don't know yet.
I sure don't.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear it, Jerry. Hey, listen, what about his wife? Have you talked to her?
She is in New York now, Snuff. She wasn't with him on the road. I haven't talked with her, but she's coming down here to Lubbock tomorrow, I believe.
She is. Have they set the funeral yet?
No, they haven't.
They haven't set it yet. Yeah, I know it. He was just getting started, Jerry.
That's right.
Everything is just beginning to go his way and everything. Well, Jerry, I'm sorry to hear it, son.
Well, I was thinking that, but everybody sure is sad about the whole thing.
Okay. Okay, that was Jerry Allison. One of the chirpingest crickets you'll ever hear, boy. And he and Buddy were very good friends. And this is one of the songs, one of the first ones they did.
Last night, as I watched the stars from my window, I prayed, Lord above, to guide and protect you. Though I'm not wanted now, I still love you somehow. That is my only prayer for you. Last night, as I gazed through the mist in my eyes, I wanted you here, to hold you so near, but silence tells me you didn't hear my plea. I miss you so much since you left me. My heart ached apart since you left me. Though I'm not wanted now, I still love you somehow. That is my only prayer for you. Last night, last night, last night I prayed for you.
Alrighty, there's the cricket chirping for you right there. It's very nice to hear. A girl by the name of Peggy Underwood has called from Bowie, and we just got a call from Abilene, Texas, and give us time to answer the phone. I mean, if you want to hear something about these and you want to call us, well, give us time to answer the phone. We're going to play what you request, you know. And this is a very, very, very least we can do. No one knows when the funeral is going to be yet in Lubbock, but you know, it's. I think it'd be nice if you know, people would send a card. They could send a card to Lubbock. Yeah, just send it to radio station KDUB in Lubbock, care of Buddy Holly, and they'll see that they're put in the proper place. It wouldn't hurt anybody a bit to send a card up that way, and you know, let them know that people will not forget Buddy Holly, because he was the greatest guy in the world, and he furnished a lot of entertainment for a lot of people, and. This is one of Buddy's biggest records, and it was a weirdo. This is the one that came out right after That'll Be the Day. It was the next record, or it might have been the record after That'll Be the Day, and they flipped everybody with this one because personally I didn't like it, but boy, it caught on like wildfire. Here's the cricket chirping, oh boy.
All of my love, all of my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. Oh boy, when you're with me, oh boy. Oh boy, the whole world can see that you were meant for me. All of my life I've been waiting, tonight there'll be no hesitating, oh boy. Oh boy, when you're with me, oh boy. Oh boy, the whole world can see that you were meant for me. Stars appear and the shadows are falling. You can hear my heart calling. A little bit of loving makes everything right. And I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All of my love, all of my kissing. You don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. Oh boy, when you're with me, oh boy. Oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. Dum-de-dum-dum, oh boy. Dum-de-dum-dum, oh boy. You don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. Oh boy, when you're with me, oh boy. Oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. All of my life I've been waiting, tonight there'll be no hesitating, oh boy. Oh boy, when you're with me, oh boy. Oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. Stars appear and the shadows are falling. hear my heart calling. A little bit of loving makes everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All of my love, all of my kissing. You don't know what you've been missing, oh boy.
Oh boy,
when you're with me, oh boy.
Oh boy,
the world can see that you are what I meant for me. You're driving me back. Your love with me got to be real, for you to know just how I feel. A love for real, not fade away.
Crickets right there, Big Bud Holly, and not fade away. Buddy, I'm sure you've heard by now, that's the reason we're doing this. In Mason City, Iowa, seems that 3 of the nation's top rock and roll idols were killed during there was a light snow up there and the plane crashed. And in the trio, there was Buddy Holly, 22-year-old Lubbock, Texas boy who we're playing these records for, along with Richie Valens, 21 years old in Los Angeles, and J.P. Richardson, 24 in New Orleans. And he's original home in New Orleans, and he's probably best known as a disc jockey in the city of Beaumont. And they were killed in a plane crash. And we're playing all these records just for Buddy, and for you to hear, because I asked this afternoon if I could do this, and I asked him if I could play all the records of Buddy's, and Earl Burnham, the manager, was very nice about it. He said certainly, he said, if that's what you want to do, because he's a good friend of mine. And this is the only way I know to pay any tribute to Buddy, you know, and because this is the only way I know how to do anything. That what else can I do? That's all. And this show isn't commercialized or anything else. This is for Buddy Holly, and that's all. This is the flip side of this Big Ed Peggy, so they call it Every Day.
Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day it's getting faster. Everyone said go ahead and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day seems a little longer, every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Love like yours will surely come my way. Staying at home, waiting for you. Just won't get it 'cause you say we're through. Well, I'm looking for someone to love. I'm looking for someone to love. Well, if you're not here, but baby, I don't care 'cause I'm looking for someone to love. Playing the field all day long since I found out I was wrong. Well, I'm looking for someone to love. I'm looking for someone to love. Well, if you're not here, but baby, I don't care 'cause I'm looking for someone to love. Myself thinking of you. You can't love me and another one too. Well, I'm looking for someone to love. Yeah, I'm looking for someone to love. Well, if you're not here, but baby, I don't care 'cause I'm looking for someone to love. Foot slip, there you are. Well, I'm looking for someone to love. I'm looking for someone to love. Well, if you're not here, but baby, I don't care 'cause I'm looking for someone to love. 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 I'm looking for someone to love.
He wrote called I'm Looking for Someone to Love. He and Jerry wrote that one. It came out as a flip side of That'll Be the Day. And the original foursome in the Crickets, there was Buddy, Jerry Allison, Joey Malden, Nicky Sullivan. Nicky went out on his own. Jerry and Joby and Buddy, they all stayed together. They didn't get anybody to replace him because they said there wasn't anybody that could replace him. So they just carried on the three of them. And you'll never know how proud Buddy Holly's mother was of him, because his mother and father were, I don't know how old they are, but they're pretty old, and they've got just a small, average home in Wichita Falls, in Lubbock. And the first time I ever met him, a good friend of mine and Buddy's, Kerry Hobbs, who was the first person to ever push Buddy Holly or play any of his records or anything else, was Kerry Hobbs. And Kerry and Buddy and I and Jerry were out one night in Lubbock. And this was after Buddy had just gotten back from being on the Ed Sullivan Show. His mother was really proud of him, you know. She was real nice, and she used to call me and request records, not Buddy's, but she'd call and request records, you know. And she listened to the radio all the time, she wouldn't admit it, you know, to hear Buddy's records. And in the front room, she had a long table, and had all of Buddy's albums on it, the ones with his picture on the front of it. And she had a picture of him that Buddy brought her back with he and Ed Sullivan together. And she had little mementos of all his, and a piece of sheet music with a piece of Peggy Sue sheet music, and with his picture on the front of it. And oh well, she thought he was a living in. And I'll never forget this night we went over there, the night we met her. I was a disc jockey in Lubbock then, and so was Kerry. He was still jockeying there. And we went over there, and we just came in. He was going to change clothes and was going to go out to eat. And she flipped. She took Buddy off in another room, and she bawled him out for not calling her and telling her that 2 radio stars were coming over to eat. You know, really, that's what she told me. You know, and she thought it was terrible because he didn't call her, and she didn't have a chance to clean up the house or anything, or dust up and everything for us to come over. And she insisted that we eat there, and you know, we told her we was going to go out and eat, you know, since going all the trouble. And that's how. And Buddy returned this love by when he made it big. He told his daddy to retire. His dad was a painter and a contractor. Told his dad to retire. He bought him a Chevrolet, bought him a brand new Chevrolet, and he was in the process of building a brand new home for him. A plush home for him. And I haven't been back since then. I haven't talked to Buddy. The last time I saw Buddy Holly was when I was doing a marathon at the Minute Motor Company here not too long ago. And Buddy just drove up one night, and he was on his way to New York with his wife, and they were going up to New York. And he walked in, and he stayed about 30 or 45 minutes and then left. And that's the last time I saw Buddy. I got a card from him at Christmas saying, you know, he was in New York and wish you were back here. And everything. The last time I saw him. But a lot of people remember Buddy Holly after this because this is going to be one of his biggest hits.
There you go, baby, here am I. Well, you left me here so I could sit and cry. Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Do you remember, baby, last September, how you held me tight each and every night? Well, whoops a daisy, how you drove me crazy, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore. There's no use in me crying. I've done everything and now I'm sick of trying. I've thrown away my nights and wasted all my days over you. Well, you go your way and I'll go mine. Now and forever till the end of time, I'll find somebody new, baby. We'll say we're through and you won't matter anymore. There's no use in me crying. I've done everything and now I'm sick of trying. I've thrown away my nights and wasted all my days over you. Well, you go your way and I'll go mine. Now and forever till the end of time, I'll find somebody new, and baby, we'll say we're through and you won't matter anymore. You won't matter anymore.
Okay, there you go, Big Bud Holly right there, and it doesn't matter anymore. This is one of the Crickets himself, the name of Joe B. Malden. We talked to Joe at the same time we talked to Jerry. They were together and deciding what they were going to do with the group now. And we called them in Lubbock earlier this afternoon. And this is what Jerry had, what Joe B. had to say.
What have y'all heard?
Oh, just what we've read in the paper and heard over the radio.
I talked to Norman a while ago. Yeah, he said some friend of his called him from up there, and he didn't know somewhere up North Dakota. Called him and they said that they didn't know too much about it.
Yeah.
But y'all, I mean, it said in the paper that y'all were with them. I thought y'all were with them.
Yeah. No, we weren't.
Y'all were in Clovis, weren't you?
Well, we got here. We came into Lubbock about 10 last night.
You did what?
I say Jerry and I drove to Lubbock about 10 last night, so we were here when it happened.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear it, son.
Yeah, sure thing.
Where's Jerry?
He's right here.
Is he?
Yeah, you talk to him.
Yeah, let me say hello with you.
Jerry. Yeah.
Hey, Jerry, Bill, how you doing? Hey, Lacey.
Pretty good.
I talked to Norman just a while ago.
Yeah.
And he said that they hadn't heard too much.
No, we got the paper here, and I'm just reading it now.
Were you?
I don't know what to say.
Well, I'm sure sorry to hear it, son.
Yeah, man, me too.
And both the guys have shook up, believe me. You know, especially Jerry. Jerry was sort of the comic of the group. He's the one that, when they came down here in August to do the TV show, Buddy came down by himself with his cousin. And we were all sitting down here, and I said, well, I miss the guys. He said, I do too. So we called them on the phone, they got on the plane and flew down. And we all went out to eat that night and played little cards, you know, and sat around the old campfire out there at the Wayfair and really had a good time. And Jerry brought down with him that night when he got here. He brought down with him his brand new record. He went under the name of Ivan. And it was played here for the first time anywhere in the nation. The record got to be really big. And tonight, Jerry said his next record was just released, so you'll be hearing it any time here. He's sending one down to us. He was really shook up to hear about Buddy. This is a good song. This is the Big Beats backing up Buddy right here. Little Baby, Baby Me.
Can you see what your love has done to me? Can you see love in my eyes? Love that leaves me full of sighs. Whoa, 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 won't you be my little baby and baby me? Little baby, baby me. Little baby, baby me. Maybe I will baby you with a bunch of love for you. Whoa, 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 won't you be my little baby and baby me?
Tope Records. He was going to name it after the color of his Cadillac, taupe brown. I think that's what they call it, taupe. As I remember, that's what he told me. He was going to start his own record company and publishing company, and he was looking around for artists. Tope Records he was going to start. And, you know, same way no one knows where they got the name of the Crickets. When they were sitting around, they said, what do we call our group, you know? And they wanted to think of something different, so they said, how about some Crickets? And so there you go. They call them the Crickets. So he named his record company the same way. Here's Buddy Holly, and it's easy.
It's so easy to fall in love. It's so easy to fall in love. People tell me love's for fools, so here I go breaking all of the rules. It seems so easy. Seems so easy, seems so easy. Oh, so doggone easy. Doggone easy, doggone easy. It seems so easy. Seems so easy, seems so easy, seems so easy. Where you're concerned, my heart has learned. It's so easy to fall in love. It's so easy to fall in love. Set apart for me, it seems so easy. Seems so easy, seems so easy. Oh, so doggone easy. Doggone easy, doggone easy. It seems so easy. Seems so easy, seems so easy, seems so easy. Where you're concerned, my heart has learned. It's so easy to fall in love. It's so easy to fall in love. Well, it's so easy. It's so easy, it's so easy. So doggone easy. Doggone easy, doggone easy. It seems so easy. Seems so easy, seems so easy, seems so easy. Well, where you're concerned, my heart has learned. It's so easy to fall in love. It's so easy to fall in love.
There you go, Chirping Crickets and Big Bud right there, and it's so easy to fall in love. And, Buddy, I'm sure everyone knows about it now, about the death of Buddy Holly, along with the Big Bopper, J.P. Richardson, and also Richie Valens, an up-and-coming star tomorrow. These two guys can't be forgotten either. But I'm sorry to say, I didn't know them. But I knew Buddy Holly, and I knew him well. He's the greatest guy in the world. And like we said earlier, if you wouldn't mind putting an envelope, whatever you can, a dime, a quarter, a dollar, whatever you can, and mail it to Buddy Holly, KSYD Radio, Wichita Falls, Texas. We'll see that it goes to muscular dystrophy. Everything you mail in. We'd appreciate it. Buddy, he's only been married a little less than 6 months. His wife, as Jerry Allison told you earlier, one of the Crickets, he she's coming to Lubbock tomorrow. So I guess the funeral will be in Lubbock. I'm going to try to make it up for the funeral. And, what can you say, you know? You can't say too much, except you can recall the things that, the times that you had fun with him, and the things that he enjoyed talking about most, like the greatest thrill Buddy Holly ever. I asked him one time, I said, Buddy, since you've been going, since you've been singing, what's the greatest thrill you've ever had? He says, no, the greatest thrill I've ever had was playing the Palace Theater last Christmas. Not this last Christmas, Christmas before last. He said, last Christmas in New York. He said, I've never seen crowds like this. Never had so much fun. I never enjoyed playing to a crowd more than I had last Christmas. And that was his greatest thrill, playing the Palace Theater, along with, all the top rock and roll stars. They had a big show. They have one every Christmas there. And Buddy Holly.
Send me some loving. Send it, I pray. How can I love you when you're far away? Oh, send me your picture. Send it, my dear. So I can hold it. Pretend you are near. Can't you send me your kisses? I can feel their touch. I need you so badly. I miss you so much. My days are so lonely. My nights are so blue. I'm near and I'm lonely. I'm waiting for you. Can't you send me your kisses? I can feel their touch. I miss you so badly. I need you so much. My days are so lonely. My nights are so blue. I'm near and I'm lonely. I'm waiting for you. I'll wait just for you.
There you go, the chirping crickets right there, along with Big Bud Holly, and the old Little Richard tune. Can't you send me some love? You see, that was one that Buddy Holly liked and Little Richard recorded, and he thought Little Richard was a gas. That was one of his favorite singers, and he used to talk about all the trips they'd made together and everything, about how much fun he was to sing with on the show, and what a gas he was. This is
Right now, this is Bob Lyons button in for station identification. We want to remind you that you're listening to the Snuff Garrett Show from KSYD in Wichita Falls, Texas, bringing you the special show dedicated to the late Buddy Holly, J.P. Richardson, and Richie Valens. We think that this is a very good show that Snuff's putting on, and we want you to stay until the very end. I want to remind you that it's coming your way from the studios of KBOB. KBOB, the new sound in radio. It's sensational. Now back to Snuff Garrett in Wichita Falls, Texas.
we did this because we wanted to, and we appreciate you letting us play all of Buddy's records. and we're glad that you like them. And Buddy Holly won't be forgotten because they've got some more records of his, and they'll keep coming out. And as long as I can find a way, well, I'll play them. And I'll ask anybody that I know to and buy them, because Buddy Holly won't die for quite a while. And rock and roll singers come and go, but there's only going to be one Buddy Holly, believe me. I'll never find anybody else to sing like him. And he was the greatest guy in the world. And if you can find time tonight, you know, if you want to keep on calling in and keep on requesting Buddy's records, I don't think Jack Grady would mind a bit, because I'm sure he'd be more than happy to play whatever you wanted to hear by Buddy, because, you know, we can't stop here, believe me. So I'll ask you once again, just send whatever you can in an envelope to KSYD Radio, care of Buddy Holly, Wichita Falls, Texas, and whatever you can. We'll give it all to Muscular Dystrophy.
Ready, set, go, man, go. I got a gal that I love so I'm ready. Ready, 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 I'm ready. Ready, 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 I'm ready. Ready, 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 I'm ready, ready, ready to rock and roll. All the flat top catching now the dungaree doll. I'm headed for the gym to the sock hop ball. Joints are really jumping, the cats are going wild. Music really sends me ideas, great styles. I'm ready. Ready, 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 I'm ready. Ready, 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 I'm ready. Ready, 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 I'm ready, ready, ready to rock and roll. Ow! Pick up my sweetie pie, she's a rock and roll baby, she's the apple of my eye. I'm ready, 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 I'm ready, 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 I'm ready, 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 I'm ready, ready, ready to rock and roll. Wow! I'm gonna pull off my shoes, roll up my faded jeans, cause my rock and roll baby coming on the scene. Shuffle to the left, a shuffle to the right, gonna rock and roll to the early, early night. I'm ready, 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 I'm ready, 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 I'm ready, 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 I'm ready, ready, ready to rock and roll.
The preceding program came to you transcribed from a radio show broadcast on February the 3rd, 1959, and came to you from KSYD in Wichita Falls, Texas, and was produced and directed by Snuff Garrett, and starred Snuff Garrett as your host, and his special tribute to Buddy Holly, J.P. Richardson, and Richie Valens, who were killed earlier today, February the 2nd, 1959, in Mason City, Iowa, in a plane crash that stunned the whole United States. All rock and roll fans were shocked at the news.